we chilling.
That's good.
No. Do you like it on here? We're here.
Oh, we're here.
We're just looking at the cute dog.
This is Maddox, my puppy baby. What do I call him? My baby dog. Baby
That's
dog.
my baby dog.
My baby dog. We're reunited at last. Can you say hi? Look over there. He doesn't acknowledge technology unless it's a TV with dogs on it, and then he thinks they're real.
He's a good boy.
He's chilling.
That's Maddox.
Who did a thumbs up?
I don't know the thing, you know. He's a good boy.
Good boy.
I don't know.
That's funny.
Oh, well, let's try this. It's Rachel's birthday coming up. Happy birthday! Woo!
Happy birthday! Thank you.
Thank
I guess
you.
we just disabled
One
it.
listener. No, I'm just kidding.
So we're here.
So we're here. So
I've been missing.
Yeah,
A lot.
that's okay. You've been on an adventure.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here today.
Okay.
So
I'm
just here just because I pressed record. Really, we'll just let you do the whole thing.
Okay.
What is it? I'm just gonna talk to your dog for a second.
Okay.
What is it? Did you find something? No, you didn't. Okay.
Can you hand me that pillow again? I think
I can.
replace my dog with the pillow so I can face you a little bit because I don't know.
So we can do the Drew Barrymore situation.
She gets so in there. Yeah. Tell me more. Yeah, she really does. It's like every time too. It's like, okay.
I love it. I love
do
it
too.
I'm like, oh God, I would be so uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
kind of.
So we're here. Am I just telling about my adventure?
Yes, I'm trying to think. We saw your cabin. You talked to us about kind of the lowdown on how it all worked.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. It was like right when you got there, you were still deciding if you were. No, I don't even think you talked about moose season yet. We might have talked about moose season.
Yeah. So I did decide to stay longer, and I was well received by some people and then not well received by other people. So I got to play in the dynamics of maintaining my practices for one, physically and mentally. So like meditation, yoga, some form of it every morning, and then go into this environment that was tricky and really hard work. So I really enjoyed it because it was as many times as it was really difficult to tiptoe through some tricky dynamics that I didn't really think I was gonna be faced with naively. It was met with as many good moments of growth. Is there a ball?
You keep talking. I'll just be over here.
I can't talk to the computer.
It's a ball.
There's a ball.
Just look at me and talk.
Hi. Okay. So basically, it went really well.
We have entertainment.
You found a ball. It went really well, and I learned a lot, and I was invited to stay longer, which not a lot of people are, I guess, or it's tricky, but I figured out a lot about how family businesses can be run, and that's kind of in all kinds of different ways. So I saw a lot of really cool things that you see when a business has been running for almost 30 years. It's like really, really cool opportunities for me to incorporate some of the values that they had, I guess. Some of the consistencies they had with how they treat their guests and everything. That was cool. But the most important things I learned were little things like the value of hard labor every now and then, some hard work, really helps still the mind and alchemize negativity. So I was really cool because I was able to go into these dynamics that were really painful and challenging and triggered back old memories, and I had the opportunity to choose a new pattern, an old pattern arise with different faces and different names. I didn't collapse back into old ways. I really maintained like a middle way. And it was very much due to the fact that I have these practices in place, because I would have like definitely caved and crumbled and stumbled, and it wouldn't have been as great if I hadn't had meditation and yoga. So it was really cool overall, and it was really also really interesting to just notice how my mind shifted in subtle ways for the better. My belief system widened a little bit. I was able to experience a complete opposite environment from living in a jungle ashram in Mexico to living in a like sub-zero like part of the continent, but also I got to experience a nice part of uh like a fall weather kind of vibe the whole time I was there. So it was really cool, beautiful. And then I got to experience snow all in the same go. When we were leaving, the very last day we left, the morning we left, I woke up and there was snow on the ground, and I hadn't seen snow in a long time. So it was pretty cool.
And the wildlife that you got to see that just was around
Oh my gosh, I
the
can't even.
camp.
So the very first day that I got on the water on the boat to go to the lodge, as soon as I got on the water, I saw swans.
Oh.
And the guy that was driving was like, "Oh, you don't really see that every day." And I was like, "Interesting." So I saw all kinds of cool stuff like that the whole time, and so many synchronicities with like the birds and things people would say and songs that were playing. And it was just, I was in the right place doing really hard work and learning really hard lessons and having the choice to step up and implement and integrate what I've learned, or to collapse under the pressure. So you've got like peer pressure dynamics when you're in new groups, working dynamics you've got. And then also my lifestyle has changed significantly since I've been around people like that. So I had to sort of bend a little bit and maintain my ground, but also bend. And so I got to learn balance with different groups and types of people who have different belief systems. Um, and I really connected with the guests a lot. And it was so cool to see them like light up talking about stuff like yoga with me around the fire at night. Like I would talk to people about agility and movement and center of gravity and meditation, and it would lead into a yoga conversation. And I even ended up teaching yoga to a few of the guests in the mornings and some of the fishing guides that were there who seemed like they would have been the ones who would not want to do it were the most open to it. So that was really rewarding and cool. And it gave me a lot of confidence as a guide. Um, yeah, and they were receptive to it. And some people aren't, and that's fine. And it worked. I was able to let it wash over me and just still feel so grateful that they even wanted to be receptive in the first place.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was shining some light there and irritating the hell out of most people that work there because they are not like that at all. They're very, very much, they're such fun people, but a lot of them have the mentality of just like, we're going to die anyway. So just like go nuts. Don't even, like, that's all bullshit. Like all that meditate, they don't like it. So I got kind of like low key bullied a lot with like underhanded comments about how I choose to carry myself. So
Passive aggressive bullying.
yeah, which is fine because it just shows me that it's a reflection of something that they're missing inside of them, and I show them something that they think they can't have. When I respond with kindness, they're like, "That's not real because it's not possible," and it's like,
But it's happening
I
right
see the
now.
beauty in all of them. I met all of them and saw just, and I tried to be as loving as I felt like being, which is I'm really affectionate with people and gooey and kind of and bubbly, and it's just not for most people, especially when they're in a stressful situation and they've been working for 4 months, like 14-hour days nonstop
Yeah.
with no break, and they're young and some are older and some are. It's just so it's that's just such a fun playground to go and try to do spiritual shit in.
Yeah.
Because it's very challenging. But luckily, some people did see me for what I really am trying to do and what I am doing, and I got a lot of support in that way. It was just by a smaller percentage, balance wise. So there's a lot more heart battles than there were heart opening moments for me there. But while I balanced all that, I did have some really profound moments with nature, just being there. This lodge is, I think I said it already, but it's 70 miles upriver from the nearest village. So it's very, very isolated, and you can really feel that. You can really feel it because there's something different about, like, have you ever gone into a parking garage that has like really well insulated ceilings and you can like hear yourself breathe? Have you ever been in one of those, like the newer ones? I
Yeah.
went in one in Atlanta where I was like, it's so quiet. There's no noise in there. It's like a vacuum. So it's kind of like that. And it's pretty cool. And so you get really in tune with all the sounds, especially boats. I can hear boats from like miles away now, or well, I don't even know how far. Distance is not my thing. But I would be like with headphones in or one headphone in, like chopping wood. I would be like, and then I would run to the dock because that was my job, was to like be available to catch people and tie them up all the time and release them. So I was like, and I would run, and I got really in tune with my body and the if I did have a day where I was really tired and didn't do a very thorough practice, I could really feel it kind of like within the next few hours, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
was like, so it was very good to have. And it was like rushing water like right next to me. I would walk alongside it for like 6 weeks. So that was really, really healing. And I know it and I felt it. Um so it was very beautiful and very challenging. And I ended up hanging around with a bunch of them long after we left the lodge in Alaska. And I also did a stint in Anchorage for a while, for like a week. They went hunting up in the Arctic Circle for caribou, and that was really cool because they sent me pictures back of the most. It looks like AI lights. It was like bright green northern lights, and then like a purple, green, blue. It just doesn't look real. It doesn't look real, and I told them if I ever see northern lights in person, I'll either ascend or I'll die. Like I'll like pass out or glitch. I just think I couldn't handle the beauty of it because I cry inside when I see like certain flowers. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I can't handle that, but I want to do it. Um, so I waited for them to go hunting, and then while they were doing that, I bounced around Anchorage and
Oh.
explored and met some cool people. And one night I was outside and I was talking to somebody, and I look like they point at behind my head. They're like, turn around, and I look, and it was mint green northern lights, and they were in full motion, like dancing.
Oh.
And I was just like, nope. That's not real. That's too beautiful. I just was like stunned into silence. And that was super rewarding. Yeah, and so anyway, after that I ended up deciding to go see more because I couldn't see much. I was sort of limited. I was borrowing someone's car, so I only had a car for a few days at a time, and then I wouldn't, and then I would. So I didn't get to really go venture out into some of those cool mountain towns in Alaska. I was sort of like regaled to like Wasilla, Palmer, Anchorage area, and which was fine. But there became this opportunity for me, and since you can move your flights around usually, which is what I've had to do, I just went ahead and pushed it and agreed to go drive through from Anchorage to through Canada and pick up a flight there and come back here. And so I did that, and now I'm here.
I know she's here.
And now I'm here. So I got to experience Canada for the first time, and in like this janky, he bought this truck off Facebook Marketplace and just put like a soft top on it and a light bar and was like, let's roll. And so hopefully this thing, and then we had an issue with transmission fluid like the second day. So it was kind of stressful, but it just all like worked out, and it was fun and kind of spontaneous. And that's like one of my favorite things to do.
That is awesome. And so you get there all the way up in remote Alaska.
Yeah.
And there's a dude working there who lives one state up from us. So she was able to carpool.
Oh yeah,
of.
he lives in South Carolina. So look at that. It gave me a thumbs up because I have my weird thumb just out here. I don't know why. I'm scared to crush this little microphone.
Or make any like ASMR noises.
Yeah, it's so small, so you sing very soft.
My tiny little.
These are like really funny. How they became normalized so quickly just blows my mind.
I know.
Like, do you not realize how dumb you look?
There's this.
And it's like, no, it's like, well,
there's this lady. She probably has no idea about this podcast, but she holds it. She's like, "Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends." And it's Pinky Patel, if you've heard of her. She's so funny. She has all these different tiaras.
Oh.
And I don't know why I have ADD to the subject we were just talking about, but it was the microphones. And she has this bedazzled pink microphone, and she just talks like that, and she always has her nails done and stuff. And she's like, "Hello, my friends." And it makes me laugh every time. But now I'm going to try to put.
I like holding it. Well, I just forgot what I was saying. Actually. Oh, South Carolina, and he bought this truck, and then I
Yep,
forgot what I was saying.
a junker, but you had
It got us
transmission
there.
fluid.
We had
Yep.
transmissions. It was kind of stressful, and then yeah, but we just like popped around different Airbnbs, and then there was this one bar that had it was like a motel bar, so you had to go through this like stereotypical bar with these like dudes drinking at like 8 in the morning called the Breakfast Club. It was just like, all right, like it was pretty cool. I love
It's
stuff
like the
like
ones
that.
you see in the movies.
It was like a movie. I got a video of it. I wish you just popped up, but we don't have a producer.
Yeah, sorry.
Hey Mike, can you pop that on the screen for post? We got a producer. I just try to make it look like we don't have one. So that was pretty cool.
Well, what about like driving down the road and there's like elk or something?
Yeah.
It's like, or buffalo. I mean, just everything just right there. Like we would see a dog on the side of a road just stand there looking at you.
Yeah,
They're like these
you'd see like a
giant.
herd of elk with like giant antlers, and yeah, and I guess we saw caribou, elk. I don't really remember exactly what all we saw, but we saw a couple buffalo. That was pretty cool.
That
So
is
just
cool.
in the road, like he wasn't even looking at us. He was just like, I am standing here, and I'm a buffalo. So
And they're gigantic.
yeah, and there was a couple more on the side. That was wild. I just have never seen mountains like that, you know, except Mount Rainier in Washington. So just to be driving to like Kroger, which is called Fred Meyer there, but it's Kroger. I was like,
Oh,
oh, I'm
cool.
home. Like they had all my stuff, all my comforts. The cinnamon broom wasn't there. That might be a southern thing. You know, the
Probably.
cinnamon broom.
Yeah.
But they did have all the Halloween stuff, and I went very slowly. After being in the wilderness for like that long, I was like, I gotta borrow there's mom that let me borrow her car, and I was like, I'm going to Target. And I spent 90 minutes in there, and I only left with 2 things.
Yes, seriously, because
I spent 90 delicious minutes savoring all of the consumerism. I was like, oh, I love shiny shit. I just needed to be in that stimulation, and then I didn't go back to any stores like that. That's all I needed was a dip into Target. Like I needed to dip in the middle of that bullseye for like 90 minutes.
oh,
And then I realized I had this rational mom voice in my head now, all of a sudden, that was like, but not mean. It wasn't a bully. It was like, you don't definitely do not need that. Like it was gentle.
yeah.
I was like, you're right. You know? And I was so patient with myself, and I ended up getting exactly what 2 items that I needed. Like I genuinely
Like you
needed.
actually, yeah.
Like I didn't have because I was survival minimalist traveling. So but I did get a shit ton of like little makeup shit from Kroger, from Fred Meyer, because they had like the beefed up makeup section, you know how some of the
Ooh.
Krogers are? And I was like, oh, town. And I even got a Starbucks apple oat milk apple crisp latte with coconut milk instead, because oat milk is not my favorite anymore.
Oh.
I don't know why. I just don't like it anymore. It tastes good to me. I don't think my stomach likes it. That's all.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's that avena. That avena no agree with my estómago. Leche de avena. So anyway, well, now I just want to talk about regular stuff.
okay.
Coconut milk. No.
We don't want to talk about that. That's
No.
just it.
No. I just wanted to I feel weird because I'm just giving this monologue about myself, and it feels
Oh,
really
I'm
imbalanced.
sorry.
No, but that's really it. That's the recap of my trip. And I want to wrap it up and like say my takeaways from it, because it was so stretched out for me. Like time slowed down. It felt like I was there for 6 months. So when I got
It
back
did.
here, it like banded back, and I was like, man, oh my gosh. So I'm like processing how big the things that happened to me happened in such a short amount of time. So it's like that time warp feeling, like when you're in like relationships or a new job, or you know how you time sort of wobbles, you're like, it's a different routine, and now it's
Yeah.
a different world, and it smells a little bit different, and that song's on the radio now, so it's a different phase, right?
Yeah.
It's like that time warp is like calibrating for me right now, and I'm like, that was a lot of experience in a short woof. It was fun, and I'm so grateful that I was able to do that. Like I just can't even get over the fact that like I was like bumping into moose meat, trying to go to get kindling for my cabin because it was 15, no, maybe it wasn't down to 15 at that point, but it was like 20 something degrees. And I didn't have any more firewood because I was too freaking tired to remember to get myself wood that day. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like I have to go out in my slippers and I'm like, there's a moose leg in my face. And the only way I can get around it is to like wobble them and grab my kindling and grab an armful of firewood and like run back to my cabin because I'm too cold to function. Like, so like living like that, I really enjoy a lot. I mean, not long term. I think it'd be cool to be able to do that periodically because it really does remind you of your humanness and like the privileges of how we live and like simple things like heat and water. I didn't have to heat my own water. It was decked out, but I had to heat my own cabin and like it was just I don't know, it just felt very like functional and it felt like I was useful and I was like creating something for myself just by taking care of my basic needs with my hands.
Yeah.
And it like forced me to stop kind of whining in my head a little bit. It's sort of, well, I'm pretty good at like managing the stillness, or finding stillness, but I still have chatter when I'm thrust into an environment that's really a lot different from meditation and yoga for a year. It was cool how I was able to find my balance. I grabbed the tools I needed to. So yeah, and now I'm going to Louisiana because I want to start Maddox. What?
Where is your ball?
Runway staring contest.
He's relaxing on the couch and whining.
He's gonna start talking.
Is he hungry?
What time is it?
It is 4:54.
Yeah, in 6 minutes.
Oh.
So anyway, I just want to say also, Maddox, please shut up.
It's fine. We'll just.
I love you.
It's fine.
Shut the fuck up. So I'm going to Louisiana because I want to start working on stained glass projects and continue my sun catcher. So I just like I don't want to get in over my head on stained glass, but there's a lot of stained glass art galleries there.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Like on the strip of the downtown. And so I just was like,
it's good
there's like a lot of, it's good inspiration. And there's a lot of art and music there. And I just want to learn and immerse myself in the community and see where I fit in and like see what I can pick up, see what I can create from it, and then move on, come back over here for the winter.
Yeah.
So I'll be, or I don't know at this point where I'm going to be. I'm going to come back toward the coast or toward the southeast coast.
Georgia for winter.
Not Georgia, but maybe Georgia.
The Georgia area.
Yeah, like the mountains. So if there's like, I know Appalachia is all destroyed right now, so we'll see how that goes in the next couple of months. But yeah, I just want to be in the mountains for the winter is what I'm trying to say. At least by some water or a mountain.
Oh.
And continue that process and continue to branch out with my my sun catchers and my booth and stuff.
Our sun catcher.
So yeah, that's how it's going.
I like it.
That's it.
And then she came back here and we have our room above the garage finished for yoga and workouts.
It's so cool.
She's been going up there and doing her own.
Oh, it's so blissful. I've been flowing up there, the speaker, with my music, by myself. I've been living with boys for a while, so it's like really nice to, nothing wrong with boys, but they're messy. They always clean up though real good. They just do it in long stretches. It'll be like days and then it'll be like perfectly clean and then it accumulates. So, and then I didn't really have much, if I wanted to flow, it looked like too sensual, I think, you know, because I'm feeling into my bandas and it's like I'm doing a lot of body rolls when I'm trying to get into my position. So it's like, it felt a little bit weird to like,
felt exposed there.
Yeah, I'd have to do it in like tight quarters, like in my room or somewhere else. So it feels good to be able to stretch out and Rachel and Rich have been hosting me a couple nights and it's so sweet. Just while I rearrange all my stuff and then hit the road, which I'm leaving in the morning. So
after breakfast,
after I have breakfast with my dad at Waffle House, which I'm really looking forward to because there were no Waffle Houses out there and no Chick-fil-A's.
Oh,
so I might well, Chick-fil-A will be all over Louisiana, so
Yeah.
that's fine. I'll be fine. But I was planning, I was like, I need to go get Chick-fil-A. I gotta get Waffle House. I gotta go. Well, that's all I wanted. That's just two things. So, also, I got to cook and I learned how to bake bread. His mom taught me how to make bread.
Oh,
So I
cool.
got to make my first loaf, and it was this bonding thing, and it felt really nurturing and beautiful. It felt really good in my stomach. Like my stomach like relaxed. Because I was overthinking it, perfectioning it, and I was like, she was like, "This is the softest bread ever that anyone's ever made." Like they were like buttering me up, but I don't know. I think she was right. Like everyone was like, "This bread is really good."
Oh
It was
no,
very fluffy.
you're starving.
So I got to make bread and learn and cook, and I had breakfast mornings every second day when the groups would come.
Oh,
So I got to make pancakes and be in the kitchen, and I was like, I love this.
That is
So
fun.
I loved like going from chopping wood to making pancakes to baking bread to like what else did I do? To like cutting up mousse. I was just
Also,
like cutting
and smashing glass, which
I
I think we
love
talked about.
smashing. It's the best. It's so therapeutic. Oh my gosh.
So you put on, she puts her metal
Safety goggles on.
in your metal music, right?
Yeah, I put on my metal from my old days because it still works if I can channel my rage like consciously and intentionally through to that glass bottle, like instead of letting it leak out into other people's fields and stuff. It's like then that metal is an accelerant. But if I'm listening to that metal to like not even sit in my anger, to avoid my anger and just like rage around and be a bulldozer and stuff, that is not constructive. It's not a constructive use of my anger. So I've slowly been bringing it back, and it feels really good because I can really stretch out in it because I know I'm in a safe container. It's not like this dark place that has these like unknown dangers lurking and all the stereotypes. And it's like, no, I'm free, bro. I'm free, but I'm about to headbang for a second and beat this bottle to death. And I loved when I got Crown Royal bottles because they have the wax, so you have to like really like they're there to break it. And if I couldn't break it, it depended on how much rage I had left to channel. And sometimes I would break it, but it took like I was like all my muscles were like strained and sore every day. I was like ripped again, like I was at the peak of my like workout madness.
And you were chopping wood too.
Yeah, I was using my whole body, but with a little bit more awareness. So it was like tightening everything up, and then simultaneously, I was doing so much fascia work that it was simultaneously loosening what the muscles I used to overuse. So it was like over like 6 weeks. Then it was like when I got to Wasilla, something happened, and I don't know what it was, but I felt like a pop somewhere because I kept trying the breathing. I kept trying my Bondo breathing, trying to connect, trying to drop everything, condense everything, and allow everything to work from the inside and stop pushing so hard. I've kept working at it. Every now and then I'd get a little like, and I was like, oh, and then collapse back. So, and I was like, so it was frustrating. Like I would go hide in like the drink dry storage closet outside and be like, I would like try to just like get into that place again. And then people would like, I would always be afraid to hear someone like call my name or be like, what are you doing? Or like, where are you? You know, I was always like, I need a minute to like be weird so I can find my breath.
Oh my God. It's not allowed to be weird.
They already thought I was such a hippie. They were like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, it's just like,
no.
So I would hide a lot to try to like find my center. And by the end of it, there was a lot of tension. So I was going to my cabin like every hour to like find my center or dance, because dancing really, really helped me like move. I would feel like if someone was like really nasty to me, I could feel it, like the knives instantly. And I was like, I would like breathe to open to receive the knives. And then I would have to go, I'd have to like hold that in my awareness that I needed to deal with that. I couldn't just let it slip into the, so I was like, no, I'm comfortable for it. And then I would like go to my cabin and I would get my mala beads and I would just like sit there, walk in figure eights or sit down and try to meditate or lay down and try to open my, I would do whatever I needed to let that thing not get stuck back into the void of my body, you know?
Yeah.
I would be like, no, we're taking this outside. It stinks. Walk outside. Drop it, you know?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. It was just really, really challenging. There were a lot of times I wanted to just be like react back and be mean back to people, but I just like couldn't. So it kind of hurt because I was like, I love you anyway, even though you are a horrible, nasty human to me right now. You're acting like a horrible, nasty human to me right now. Like, still sending you love while you stab me in the back and scream into my face, which happened a few times. So it's just, yeah, it got nasty. People are really tense right now. So, but I feel like I did a good job. I had to shut down towards the end because I couldn't handle anymore. I just sort of like went inward and did the bare minimum, which is not me. I'm like so open. So it was like really obvious. But anyway, I'm done talking about it.
Mic drop.
Thank you, listener. You can follow me at Radiachul. That's RADIACHUL.
Yeah.
Because Chell was taken. So I'm Chul.
Oh my God, really?
Chell, Radiachul was taken.
Huh?
Someone already had the idea.
What the hell?
Dude, great minds think alike, and there are a lot of bodies and a lot of brains.
True that. True.
And a lot of greatness. Thank you for catching up.
Thanks for coming on. And
I'm tired today.
that was good. That was a good little chill sesh. And then I think so. Today is, what day is it today? Here.
Tuesday, day 29, October 2024.
So we will, I think we're doing a podcast tomorrow with me and Elizabeth and me, myself, and I, and Elizabeth will be here to host as well.
Yay.
And we'll finally, because poor Elizabeth, I've been trying to get, I had COVID, and then I had this, and then I had that, and then we had Mandy on last week. Now we have Rachel. So now I want to get, Elizabeth is the queen of the workshops, and she's got a plethora of information for us. So you might end up having 2 podcasts in a row. What are you going to do?
Bonus. Y'all won't even know what to do with their own minds because they're going to be occupied by these voices.
That's right. Hopefully, all 5 of
Put
you.
it on your calendar. Subscribe. Sign up for alerts.
Yes, we do need some people to subscribe. So
you never
share
know
with your friends.
what's going to be said on this thing because we're just unregulated and we're ready to change things in the world for the better. So we might just say something that makes you feel a little strange and silly and makes you want to get up and do a little dance maybe. Or
you should.
And you should. Thank you. Good night.
All right. No, for real. We're going to go. Bye. It's going to take me half hour as usual to get out of here. So just bear with me. Mwah.